A man owned a beautiful old statue. It looked expensive, heavy, and very rare. One day, another man saw the statue and immediately wanted to buy it. He asked, "How much do you want for it?" The owner replied, "This statue is made of pure gold. It is hundreds of years old. I will sell it to you for $50,000. The buyer looked carefully at the statue. It was shining like gold, and the owner sounded very confident. After thinking about it, the buyer agreed. He paid the man $50,000 and took the statue home. At that moment, both men were happy. The buyer believed he had bought a valuable gold statue. The seller now had $50,000, which he could save or use to buy something else, perhaps a new car. Money had helped them complete the exchange. But a few days later, the buyer became suspicious. He took the statue to an expert. The expert examined it carefully and said, "I am sorry, but this statue is not made of pure gold. It is bronze covered with a very thin layer of gold. It may only be worth about $1,000. The buyer was furious. He had paid $50,000 for something worth only $1,000. He felt cheated. So he carried the statue back to the seller's house and demanded his money back. But the seller refused. The argument became heated. Suddenly, the seller pushed the buyer to the ground. The statue slipped from his hands, crashed onto the floor, and broke into many pieces. As the angry buyer began picking up the broken pieces, he noticed something strange. Hidden inside the statue was a small black bag. He opened it and found a large shining stone. At first, he thought it was just a piece of glass. Still angry, he placed it in his pocket and left. The following week, he took the stone to a geologist. The geologist examined it, became very quiet, and then said, "Do you know what this is?" The buyer shook his head. The geologist smiled and said, "This is a rare diamond. It is worth about $4 million. The buyer could hardly believe it. First, he thought the statue was worth $50,000. Then he discovered it was only worth $1,000. But now, because of the hidden diamond, the statue had brought him something worth $4 million. So what is the lesson? When the buyer paid $50,000, he paid based on what he believed the statue was worth. That is called perceived value. But the real value of the statue, including the diamond hidden inside it, was completely different. That is called actual value. Money does not decide the true value of something. Money only helps two people complete a transaction after they agree on a price. People usually pay according to what they believe they will receive. But sometimes, what they actually receive may be worth much less or much more than they expected.